Hey everybody! Did you know that you can create your own alarm system within Home Assistant without having a specially bought alarm system? I'm going to show you how you can set it up in this video. Let's go! Hi! In Home Assistant you can create your own alarm system without having to buy a special alarm system for that purpose only. Because what you have in your house is you have lamps, you have motion sensors, you have speakers, and with these three things you can create your own alarm system, and you can make sure that you get a message on your phone when an intruder is detected in your home. So that's really cool. What happens in my house is that if an intruder is detected, then all my lights start blinking red. There's a message coming through my speakers, there's a really loud car alarm coming through my speakers, and I get a message on my phone that an intruder is detected. So how cool is that? I'm going to show you how. As you can see here, Home Assistant has its own alarm control panel. And in this control panel, I can, for instance, enter a code now, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can arm my alarm. So it's arming now. I can walk out of the door, close my door and leave the house safely, knowing that my house is secured. And it's really easy to set up. So it is arming now. I set it to 30 seconds, so I have 30 seconds time to leave the house. And when I come back, it also takes 30 seconds before the alarm goes off. So let's wait. So now it's armed, and if I now walk into one of my motion sensors or one of my door sensors detects that the door is opened, then the alarm will go off. Now I will disarm it now, again with code 1, 2, 3, or 4, disarm it, and now my house is disarmed. The alarm is disarmed. There are a couple of steps that you have to take to make this work. One of the things that I start with is creating the scenes for my lights to blink red. So for that we go to configuration, and then we go to scenes, and then I have this scene, alarm turn red. So I'll open it and I'll just show you how I set it up. So the name of the scene is alarm turn red. I have 4 lights in my living room that I want to blink red, and that is living room cupboard. So if I open that one, I can set it to on and to red. And I'll do the same for my living room U, my living room IKEA, or my living room spot. And if you have like light groups, you can do it with light groups too, but I wanted to make it easy for you, so I have my separate lights set up here. You can also, use all other lights in your house if you want. So you can add devices here. So I could add, for instance, the light in the kitchen. Oh. So I choose my kitchen spot, and I can say I want to turn that kitchen spot on too, but it's not in color, so I will leave this one. So I'm not going to add the kitchen spot. So this is the first step that we take. We create one scene that turns all the lights to red. Okay. Then we have another scene, and that's a scene that has to turn the lights off, because we want to blink it from red to off, from red to off. So this one is called alarm turn lights off. So this is turn lights off, and the only thing that what I'm doing here is I added all the devices again, so my cupboard light, my U light, my IKEA light, and my spot, and this time I set it to off, as you can see here. So I can set it on, can set it off, and now it's off. So all these lights are now set to off if I click on this scene. So if I can, and you can also test it, if you click on this play button and you click here, then all the lights in your in my living room in this case are set to on and to red, and if I click on this one, all the lights are going out again, going off. So this is the first thing that we do. We have 2 scenes. Now we have to do something else. and that is that we want to create our alarm, how do you call it, our alarm panel. And for that I have to do something in my configuration.yaml. So I go to my configuration.yaml on my server. If you don't know how to do that, you can look at the video on how to enable Samba on your Home Assistant server, and then you can access the files on your Home Assistant server, which are, in my case, which is here. So this is a network environment in config, and in config there's this file configuration.yaml that we're going to edit now. And in configuration.yaml you can just add this code. It's really easy. You can do lots more with it, but I'm going to just explain this in a simple way. So it's alarm control panel, platform, I'm saying manual. The code is, in my case, 1234. Probably it will be another one in real life. You can set the delay time. That's the time that it lasts before the alarm goes off when a motion is detected. The arming time, that's the time, so 30 seconds that it takes before the alarm is armed after you enter the code. And the trigger time is also 30 seconds in my case, and that is the time that the alarm is running after it is triggered. So just set this and save your configuration.yaml, restart Home Assistant, and then you'll be fine. Now we are going to the fun part. So the next thing that I want to do is that I'm going to set up my panel. So in my case I already have a panel, so I'm just going to show you how this panel works. So if you go to your Lovelace dashboard, you can add cards here, you know. And normally what you do is you click on the three dots on the right top, click Edit Dashboard, and then you can choose Add Cards on the right lower corner. And one of the default cards is the alarm panel card. So if you choose the alarm panel card, then it's going to be added to your Lovelace dashboard. I'm not going to do that here, but I'm going to edit my current alarm panel card. So I'm going to edit it, but it's basically the same as adding a new one. So for the entity, you select the alarm underscore control underscore panel dot HA underscore alarm. And you can give it a name. In my case, it's alarm control panel. And you can add a couple of states that you want to use. I only have arm away, but you can also say, for instance, arm night or arm custom bypass. There are different types that you can set, but I only use away just to keep it easy. So that's the only thing that you have to do here. And if you save this, then the control panel is added to your Lovelace dashboard. So now it is working. What I can do now is that I can set it. So I can set the code 1, 2, 3, 4. I can arm it, it starts arming, and I can set the code 1, 2, 3, 4 again, disarm it, and it's disarmed again. At this point, it's not doing anything. It's just setting a value for armed or not armed. So the next part that you want to do is to set up an automation that acts on this value. For that, we go to Configuration, Automations. And as you can see, I have two automations here. Alarm trigger when armed and motion detected, and one stop sound on disarm. So this is the first one that I'm going to explain how that works. So let's open it. And now you see the name alarm trigger when armed and motion detected. Mode is single, and now I'm going to add some triggers. So the triggers are basically every motion sensor that I have in my house is a trigger. So if the alarm is armed, I want to set it off when one of my motion sensors detects motion. So I'm going to define all my motion sensors here, as a trigger. So the first one is my motion sensor hold downstairs. If motion sensor hold downstairs started detecting motion. Second one, sensor hold upstairs. If motion sensor hold upstairs started detecting motion. Motion sensor office. If the motion sensor in the office started detecting motion. In the kitchen, if the motion sensor in the kitchen started detecting motion, and so on and so on. And then I also have some door sensors. So if the sensor of the garden door, on the left garden door, is the state is going from off to on, and from the garden door right off to on, same. So for all these sensors, if the state changes, then we are going to do something. So these are the triggers. But you only want to do something if a certain condition is met, and the condition is in fact that if the state of the alarm is armed away. Remember what I did? I set the alarm to 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I armed it, and then it was armed to away. So I can say here, if the entity alarm control panel dot alarm HA underscore alarm has the state armed away, then do something. So what I created here is, if one of the motion sensors detects motions and the state of the alarm is armed away, then you can do something, which is logical, right? So I'm going to do a couple of things here. We're going to call a service that sends a message to my phone. So I'm going to call a service that's called notify.mobile app underscore iPhone underscore X underscore add, which is my service, my entity of my phone, and I'm going to send a message to that. So in service data, I'm entering message, colon, intruder alert, motion detected at home. So what happens here is that a message is sent to my phone that an intruder is detected. Then what I want to do is that I want to turn on all the speakers in my home to 100%, so the volume to max. I'm going to say call service media player volume set media player dot all speakers. Oh, this one is wrong. All speakers. Volume level is 1, which means 100%. Then I'm going to say that Google has to send a message. This is text to speech, which is really cool if you have text to speech enabled in Home Assistant, which is a different topic, but I mean you need it for it, but it's also easy. Look it up and I will create a video on it later. It's really easy to do. Then I'm going to let the speaker say a sentence. So I'm going to say text to speech dot Google underscore translate underscore say. Entity ID is media player all speakers, which are all my speakers, and the message is intruder detected, you are captured on camera, and the police is notified. So this case is the message, a message is being said by, I think it's a female voice, through my speakers on 100% volume, and it's saying this sentence. Then it waits for 10 seconds. It puts a delay in for 10 seconds, and then the fun starts, because then I'm going to play an MP3 file through all my speakers in my house with a car alarm, and that I call it with this service media underscore player dot play underscore media. The name of the entity to seek media on is again media underscore player dot all speakers, and the service data, it is pointing to my Home Assistant local server where the MP3 file is, and I'm going to show you that. Unfortunately, I had to add the IP address of my Home Assistant server there. Not sure if I think you have to do that, and then /local /alarm1.mp3, and the media content type is music. So I'm going now back to the Home Assistant server. Oh, where is it? To my Home Assistant server files, which is again on the network, config, and then www. And this is where I uploaded my alarm1.mp3 and alarm2.mp3. I had two, and in the end I only chose one, and I think it is called, yeah, alarm1.mp3. So this file, what I'm pointing at, is in this location. So it is on your Home Assistant. I'm just going to show you carefully again. So this is your Home Assistant server file directory. There's a folder in there, config. Within that folder there's a folder, www, and within that folder you put your mp3 file. The trick here is that you see that this folder is called www, but in the code you call /local. So Home Assistant knows that this local is the same as www. It doesn't really make sense, you know, okay, why is it local and why is it www? I cannot really explain it, it's just the way how it is. So keep that in mind. This can be used, the media player, with the Google Cast integration, which is automatically detected when you install Home Assistant. And after that, I'm going to call a routine which will flash my lights from red to off, red to off, red to off. And I'm going to do that with a script because I want to repeat that thing. So I'm going to call a service, and the service is called script turn on, and I'm calling a script here. And as you can see, it's a strange number, but if I open it, then I can look up the numbers. 805, 805, 805. Here it is, alarm flash lights. So this is a script that I created, and this is basically the last step that you have to take, and I'm going to show you how you can create these scripts. So is this clear? I hope so. So this is the automation that you have to create to get your alarm going. If you didn't really get this part, just, you know, rewind a bit and look at this part again. It's not that difficult. So just saving it. Now we have to create that script. So I'm going to configuration scripts, and I have two scripts here. I have a script which is called flash lights, and I have a script which is called flash loop. The thing is that I need one script to flash the lights, so it flashes the lights on and it flashes the lights off, and then I need another script to call this script again, so to actually loop back to this script to flash it on and off again. So what happens is the lights flash on, the lights flash off. I call another script which is the flash loop script, and in the flash loop script I'm calling the flash light scripts again. So I'm looping around. I'm going to show you. Alarm flashlights, I'm going to edit this script. You can add your own script if you like, but I'm going to edit it. So what is this thing doing? We have a sequence here. In scripts you create sequences of things that happens after each other. So in this sequence I'm going to add a condition first. I first want to know if my alarm is armed away. And I need that, otherwise I'm not getting out of this loop if I'm disarming the alarm. So I'm first checking, is the alarm, so if you run the script, it first checks, is the alarm armed? That's what this is doing. Condition state, alarm control panel, a alarm armed away. Then I'm going to call a service to turn on a scene. Remember the scenes that we created in the beginning? These scenes we are now calling these scenes. So I'm turning on the scene alarm turn red, which means turn on all my lights with a red color. And what I'm also doing is that I also have at my office, I have entrance lights on the outside, and I'm going to say turn on the office lights outside too. So I'm not using a scene for this, because this is simply turning on and turning off, because these lights are just white, but they are really bright white, so it's like an alarm flashing light. So turn on the office entrance lights, And then I'm saying delay, wait 2 seconds. So let the lights on for 2 seconds. And then I'm going to call a service again, scene turn on. So I'm going to call the scene alarm turn lights off. So after these 2 seconds that you see here, I'm going to turn off all the red lights. So all the red lights are being turned off, and I'm going to turn off the office entrance lights. So just a quick recap here. What happens is, first check if the alarm is armed, and if it's armed, then turn on all the red lights, Roxanne, and then turn on the entrance lights of the office, wait 2 seconds, turn off the red lights, turn off the entrance lights, and then call another script. And that other script, this ends on 977, so when I open this, 977, where is it? Alarm flash loop. So what this script, now I'm calling another script that is going to loop over this sequence that you saw here. So let's go to the other script, alarm flash loop, edit this. Now this is a really easy script. The only thing that what this script is doing is it waits 2 seconds and then it goes back to the former script. So it goes back to the 805 script again, and the 805 script was alarm, where is it? Flashlights. So basically what's happening here is that this script is running first, then this script, alarm flashlights, is calling this script, alarm flash loop, and this script is calling this script again. So it's looping. And so this is what makes sure that the lights keep on flashing. Okay? So now I armed my alarm, somebody entered the home without disarming the alarm, the script is being called, so the loop is running, alarms are, the lights are flashing red, there's a lot of noise in my house. And now, let's say I want to disarm the alarm, then you go back to the alarm panel and you enter the code again, and then you click disarm. Well, it was not armed here, but you get the thing here. So now it's armed, then you enter the code again, for you disarm the code. Basically what happens here is also that it's only setting a state, so the alarm is still going on. So we have to create an automation for disarming the alarm too. So we go to configuration, automations, and this is alarm stop sound on disarm. So I'm opening this automation, and what this thing does is basically saying, okay, there is a trigger. The trigger is the alarm in the alarm panel. The state went from armed away to disarmed. That's what I just did, you know, entered the code 1, 2, 3, 4, clicked on disarm, and that's this trigger. So it's saying, hey, now this is the alarm is being disarmed by someone. And what is the action then doing? The action is turning off all the speakers, because the alarm is still running on the speakers. You know, the MP3 file that I uploaded, it's still there. So I have to stop that. And then it's saying, okay, the media player, turn off all the speakers. And now you can ask yourself, yeah, I know, but aren't the lights not still blinking because, you know, you're not turning off the lights here? No, they are not. And you know why? If you look carefully in the scripts and you see the script alarm flash lights, this one, and I open it again, there is a check on the alarm if it's armed away, and if it is not armed away, then it won't run. So that's the reason why the lights will stop flashing. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to tell you about the alarm system of Home Assistant. Experiment with it. You can make it as crazy as you want. You can, you know, even turn on your garden sprinkler if somebody is detected in your home or around your home. Make it as fun as possible. Let me know in the comments how you made it yourself. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like the video if it helped you, and share it. And the only thing that I can say now is happy home assisting. Bye bye.